My name is Ayşe Konar, and today I'm gonna make an experiment about intensity of insolation. First, I want to start by asking a question. Which region do you think has the coolest average temperature? Alaska or Ecuador? Alaska is much colder than Ecuador. But why? One of the main factors affecting this temperature difference is the angle that the sun's rays strikes the earth. And today, I'm gonna prove to you how this angle changes the temperature and the intensity of light with this simple experiment.
For this experiment, we need a graph paper to take measurements, a protractor to set our angles, a thermometer to calculate the temperature change, a flashlight to act as our light source, as the sun, a notebook to store our data, and finally a stopwatch. Now, for the first step, what happens when the sun is directly overhead? I am going to hold the flashlight at a 90-degree angle so it shines straight down on the paper, and this is going to represent the sun striking the earth at a vertical angle, like at the equator. And then I'm going to use a pencil to outline the beam of light. I'm going to leave the flashlight on for 3 minutes and then calculate the heat change at the graph paper. And I'm also going to count the number of the squares inside the outline I drew to measure the area. Now I'm going to change the angle, just as the sun's ray become more slanted as we move away from the equator. First, I'm going to position the flashlight at 66 degrees. But the rest of the procedure is going to stay the same. And lastly, I'm going to position the flashlight at 33 degrees. Notice the shape of the light on the paper as the angle gets lower. The beam of light spreads out and becomes larger. Now that we have collected our data, let's look at the results. At 90 degrees, the beam of light was the smallest and the most intense, and we recorded the highest temperature. Then, at 66 degrees, the beam of light was larger than 90 degrees, but smaller than the 32 degrees. And the temperature was lower than 90 degrees, higher than 32 degrees. And lastly, at 33 degrees, the beam of light was the largest and the most spread out one, and the temperature was the lowest. To sum up, we can say that as the angle of insolation decreases, the sun's rays are spread over a larger area and the intensity decreases.
So, what does this mean for Earth? Because the Earth is spherical, the light striking the Earth above the equator is spread over a wider region, and this causes light to be less intense. This is why Alaska is cooler than Ecuador. Also, at lower angles, sunlight has to travel more distance to reach the surface, and this means there's a chance that the energy can be absorbed before it even hits the ground. And this simple difference in angle is the reason why we have different climates. Thank you for watching.